In this video, we will be learning ways to talk about possibility, probability, and deduction. How do we talk about present and future possibility? We can talk about present and future possibility using the modal verbs may, might, or could, followed by the bare infinitive form of another verb. For example, if we think there is a possibility that it will rain today, we can say, "It may rain today," or we can use might or could instead. Choosing which of the three modal verbs to use depends on how likely we think something is. Among them, could is the least sure, followed by might and then may. Here is another way to talk about possibilities. Instead of using the bare infinitive after may, might, or could, we can use be and the ing form of a verb. Here's an example. This sentence tells us that at the same time at which the speaker is speaking, there is a possibility that Tim is eating dinner. We can also use the verbs can and could to talk about possibilities. We form the structure for this by combining can or could with a bare infinitive. Here is an example sentence using can and the bare infinitive of the verb reach. We use can and could instead of may or might to talk about something which sometimes happens or is generally possible. In the example, we use can because in general it is possible that the temperature can reach 35 degrees Celsius. How do we talk about something we are very sure about? In situations like this, we can use should or ought to, followed by the bare infinitive form of a verb. In this example, the writer has strong reason to believe that they know each other well because they sit together in class. Therefore, the speaker uses ought to in the sentence. Now that we have learned how to talk about possibility in the present, let's look at how we can talk about possibility in the past. We can talk about possibility in the past using may, might, or could, plus have, and the past participle of a verb. The example on the screen uses might, and have, and left, which is the past participle of leave. It means that there is a possibility that the umbrella was left on the bus. The verbs might and could are also sometimes used to talk about something that was possible in the past, but did not happen. Remember, though, that we do not use may in this way, only might and could. We form this structure in the same way as when we talk about something that was a possibility in the past. After might or could, we use have and a past participle. We use context to figure out if the sentence is referring to something that was possible in the past but did not happen, or if it is only referring to something that was possible in the past. In this example, we know that the sentence is referring to the possibility that someone broke into the house, but that no one actually broke into it, because afterwards, the speaker says, "You were lucky." Let's look at another way we can talk about possibility in the past. We can use should or ought to and have plus the past participle of a verb. We use these verbs in the past tense to describe something that seems likely to have happened in the past. This example sentence uses should have and the past participle of the verb get, which is got. We can also use these verbs to talk about deductions. When we deduce things, we make conclusions based on information we have. We can use the verb must plus a bare infinitive to talk about things we feel sure are true, based on the information we have. In this example sentence, we are sure that the person is hungry because we know that they have just been on a long hike. Therefore, we use the word must with the bare infinitive of the verb be. We can talk about deductions in the negative with the verb can't, followed by a bare infinitive. Here is an example using can't and the bare infinitive of the verb be. Where do we use these structures to talk about possibility, probability, and deduction? We use these forms in research writing and short stories, but we can also find them in other text types. Now let's practice reading. Can you identify the use of possibility, probability, or deduction expressed in the following dialogue? The answers are doing some grocery shopping, going to the supermarket today, and having switched her phone to silent. Did you get them right? Let's do some listening practice now. Question 1. Listen to sentences A and B and decide which sentence talks about possibility, probability, or deduction. A. They could have gone hiking. B. They have to go hiking. The answer is A. They could have gone hiking. Question 2. Which sentence, C or D, talks about possibility, probability, or deduction? C. They should send the invitations tomorrow, or it'll be too late. D. They should have sent the invitations by now. The answer is D. They should have sent the invitations by now. Let's practice writing. Complete the sentences below by choosing the correct options. The answers are now shown on the screen. The first answer is might have seen, and the second answer is could have met. Finally, let's practice speaking. Answer the following questions out loud using the structures for talking about possibility, probability, or deduction. Question 1. What are you likely to do this weekend? Question 2. What might you have for dinner tomorrow? Question 3. What do you think you will do after watching this video?